An American musician or American gospel musician, Travis Greene, was scammed in South Africa. Now that's crazy. That's wild. By a Zimbabwean music promoter who went and did an event at House of Treasures. And so a lot of people were not clear on what exactly happened over there. They didn't understand like why was the performance cut, and what was the event cut? Why did we have so much problems with this event?
Why did he choose those promoters? Okay, anyway, we arrived at the venue and we were in line for 1 hour 30 minutes. You heard me right. We were in line for 1 hour and 30 minutes, almost 2 hours, because
there was a promoter who had no interest. I want to frame this properly. The promoter had no interest in the success of that event. So I want to take you through this story, but I want to break it up into pieces and episodes. The reason why I want to do this is because I want you to appreciate the depth of the person behind this entire thing. So for people that are bringing up subject matters of whether House of Treasures was involved, no, House of Treasures tends to have people rent their venue. It costs to rent House of Treasures venue, because you come in, you do event, you go. They will deal with everything. If there's anything that breaks, they will repair. If there's anything that if there's a chair that breaks or something, if anything happens, they are able to take care of it. They will hire their own company to do their cleaning and whatnot of the entire venue. And so that's what they had done. Now, there were red flags in the event which Travis got scammed at. But on this particular episode, I want to talk about the Travis part of it. Then I want to talk about the event aspect of it later on. I still don't have lights. You can hear generators buzzing and whatnot, and I'm having to just kind of lose my power station in order for me to record. And so my recording system is also dying. So I'm gonna have to go and charge later on. But please do give the video a thumbs up, and to help it get reach to others who might have been very grieved concerning this entire thing.
And yeah, there was also Trace Gospel. There was one Gospel One. There was a whole banner there at the background. People were taking pictures. People were excited, despite the fact that we were standing outside for almost 2 hours. People were still excited.
And so I want to frame this episode so that you can understand the whole story. But I'm gonna have to take a couple of episodes. I don't want to make this episode 30 minutes, 40 minutes. No, I want to break it up into subjects. So first, let's deal with the scam against Travis. Okay? I want to deal with the scam against Travis, which is criminal at best. And I can't believe this lady wanted to make us look so bad. Yes, it's a lady. You can see a picture up there. So Travis posted this in his Instagram page, and he says, an official statement containing the tour's conclusion. He says, it is with a profound sadness that we announce an early conclusion of our world tour, unfortunately due to unforeseen circumstances out of beyond our control, and that will become very clear late just in a second. It says we were unable to complete the final scheduled stops in Botswana, Australia, and in New Zealand. So, and all tickets funds of the tour were handled solely by an external manager, Henry Taylor. This particular person, that's the name, that's the claim of the name, and who recently became aware of a significant financial discrepancy involving Mr. Taylor, and the matter is now under a formal investigation by the appropriate authorities, which is exactly what should happen. And I think also the South African authorities need to get involved to deal with this woman because her issues are too much. This woman, just to add on top of this, is wanted in Nigeria. That's a separate episode. Yeah, you can tell the depth of this particular story. This woman is wanted in Thingy, and she abandoned friends who are stuck there. People who thought they were friends. Oh, you thought that's it? No, the friend has been stuck there for over 2 years. I'll come back to that part. And the friend was not. So this entire thing with Travis, it's deeper than what people actually think. The persons involved here we remain committed to fulfilling our tour obligation. However, due to a serious breach in security, and I'll explain that, and a recent target incident involving one of our vocalists, I'm not aware of that particular place, of that particular claim right there. So maybe later on it will become clear on what exactly happened to one of the vocalists. Our team made the difficult but necessary decision to return back to the States. Now, you can read the statement further. I hope I heard it here. Let me explain this entire thing. Okay, so yes, House of Treasures made a statement. I'll talk about that when I speak about the tour in other places, in another episode. So, but still, I contacted House of Treasures to understand. So, you guys were not organizing the thing with this person or with this promoter. They said, nope, we just rent venues. And this explains a certain area out of this entire thing. So, but on this part, I want to explain. I'll come to the House of Treasures. Ne? Give me a second. Let me explain Travis' part. Travis had a terrible experience. A nightmare of an experience. And the audacity that this woman did this in our country, it should just piss you off even more. I think there's measures that they should add. Even House of Treasures actually mentioned that they're going to add measures, but of safety for people, especially for events like this. I'll tell you about those on that particular episode because I think they are thumbs up on that one. So first of all, Travis got here. He was told that he was going to be flown. When he got to the thingy, they booked him, I think it was economy flight or something like that thingy. And so they didn't have the best of rest in the flight because they were flown in economy. Okay, it's fine. They get here, they were given reservation, but the person did not book. The person didn't pay. She didn't pay. There he named a certain Taylor something. They didn't pay for the hotel. They didn't pay for the hotel. So when he got there, poof, he's stuck without accommodation, transportation, door. And so imagine you are trusting that these things are taken care of, only to get into the country and find yourself dead stranded. Okay? If you've watched my trip to Zim, you will hear this. It's scary stuff. I'm a nobody. It's scary stuff to be in a country or in an environment where you are completely vulnerable. Imagine that. So he gets here, accommodation is not booked, transportation is not thingy. House of Treasures had to make plans. And remember, House of Treasures is not involved. The only reason why House of Treasures was even in the building was because when an event happens, you want to have someone supervising and stuff like that, right? So that to make sure that the event is going well, if they need something sorted out, you are able to run around and get it solved. So that's the only reason why Apostle Felix might have been there, just to make sure that if things are not thingy, he knows who to call. Hey, run around, that whole thing. That's the only reason they are there. It's because it's their venue and they're able to do the runarounds if they need help with anything. So So he gets there. He doesn't have, transportation is not sorted. Third, when they get to the venue, an amount of money has not been paid to him. So they're still trying to think it. Now this brings up the other artists. Basalan, other artists were not paid. Others were not even paid nothing. The promoters of the show did not even pay for their thing. If they say that they did, they can tell us. Other people were not paid. Other people were not paid. Don't make me go ask them so that they can give me proof, okay? Don't piss me off so that I have to go and ask them to give me proof so that I can come here and show the proof. I'll go. I'll go ask her, okay? House of Treasures was not paid, which is why the doors were locked. Anyways, on the second episode, we'll talk about that. And so, because they are just a venue, and so she did some negotiation. We'll talk about that later on. But she was not paid. They had not paid the venue, and so as a result, during a break of the performance, I think about 30 minutes, they performed and then went out.
If you're so thirsty and if you're so hungry, buy your own food. Mercy Roberts, you don't live up to your name, honey. Mercy Roberts is the one who organized this whole Made Away event. She was the one that is responsible for paying all the artists. She was the one that was supposed to be responsible for all the sound checks, everything, because she's the promoter, and apparently she's the one that was in charge of what's happening. And she felt helpless because even herself, she was being exploited. She was promised a little bit of food for helping out and water, and she got nothing. And then she also tells me that when K-Strings, the wife, and the other lady, Antorin, I can't remember her name, when they were done performing, they were supposed to go to a hotel. She said she escorted them, the guests, to that hotel. When they got to that hotel, they were probably waiting there for almost 2 hours because the hotel, again, was not paid. It was not paid by who? It was not paid by Mercy Roberts. So Mercy Roberts didn't pay hotels for the guests. She didn't pay the guests. She didn't deliver on her promises for the ushers. What about us? People who just bought tickets and were just seated there, waiting for a show to happen. At the end of this, I'm going to attach the whole story.
Yeah, it's because he wasn't paid a full amount, okay? And so they go to take a break. She refuses to pay the rest of it. The event is cut off. Now, this is the sad part of the second portion of the event. People who had paid for is it VIP or VVIP? I haven't attended one of these events, so I don't know how that works. And so now comes this part, because the unfortunate next piece is that because these were not paid and these people were promised a meet and greet, they were not able to meet with him because that was not even thingy. That money had not transacted. The transaction had not gone anywhere. The way this person, this was a scam. It was a scam. And the people who are behind this are pros. So churches should watch out. People should watch out for Madam Messi over here, because Madam Messi has issues. Madam Messi, you got issues, Madam. You got issues. The people that were called from outside were not paid. So there were other people that were from other places, they were not paid. The vocalists that came with other musicians, I'll talk about them on the second one, they too were not paid. So there was nobody paid. And by the looks of it, she was also not looking to pay the venue. She was hoping that when people are outside would pressure. We'll talk about that on the second part. And so the scam was much bigger than Travis. The venue did not close. She would have not paid them. They said no, and she didn't pay the full amount. They are still owed. They are still owed a portion of the amount. What if your people got in there and think, and that's not even a real name. We'll get to that later on. We'll get to that later on. That's not even a real name. Messi, what, Roberts. That's not a real name. Madame has been into so many scandals and so many things. It's deeper than what people actually think concerning this whole thing. So I wanted to explain, people had to make plans. There were people who were ushers who were reportedly saying that you have no idea the trauma that is at the back there. This one, her scams are international. Her scam, she's wanted in Nigeria, this woman. There's a case, but we'll talk about that on another episode. So I don't want to make it one part. I want to, so that you can understand. So I wanted to explain that the trauma that Travis faced was actually just a piece of the puzzle. And the reason was these people had no intention for you people to have any level of. Unfortunately, I think they were trying to do something. I heard that part. I don't know. It's not verified yet. They tried to get people their refunds, but I guess maybe the funds were already. The person who the promoters claimed that the event had happened. So as a result of that, the funds were released to them. So I'm not sure about that part. Don't quote me on that. But there was a whole bigger scam outside of thing. Travis had no control. You have no idea what kind of traumas I went to Zim. I'm not even talking about internationally. I went to Zim, and when I got there, the people that we were supposed to meet, no transport. We had no place of residence. I have been in that position. Your brain freezes. Now imagine you having people that are now relying on you, your vocalists. Ooh, that's a whole new level of headache. I've been in that position. It's not nice. It's the worst thing that could happen to you. So on another episode, then I'll break down the other parts of the story. Okay, the people that paid for the event and what and all that kind of thing. So we'll talk about this thing, and we'll talk about the depth of how deep does this lady's scams go. Her scams are much deeper, as you can tell. This event was just one. Sterk's Reality Show, Daily Christian Commentary videos. Other episodes done today will be down in the pinned comments. I'm gonna check you out over there.